Hello everyone, welcome again to another Patreon video. This is the first video for December 2018, and what a month this is going to be. We are in a bit of a transition period here because we're just about done with that book that we set out to complete whenever we started the Patreon. So I'll be posting the final pages for the entire book next week, and I'll also be posting a video next week that will talk about what's the plan for the Patreon going forward now that we've finished that book. But today I want to talk about what's the plan for the book itself, because the whole point of redoing this book was to get it back in print. So what's that process going to look like? In the past, whenever I reach this point of the process, I always start a Kickstarter campaign, run it for about a month, and then assuming it's successful, I take the funds and use them to self-publish and self-distribute the book. Now, there are a lot of pros and cons to self-publishing and to working with a publisher or distributor. Let me list some of my reasons why I'm going to try to go with a publisher this time. For one thing, it's difficult to find an audience as a self-published creator. Working with a publisher can help me get my work in front of more eyes, and I also think it can help get my work in front of the right eyes. I found that the kind of stories I tell aren't the best fit for a mainstream audience, but there are certain niche markets that eat it up. And I think working with a publisher can help me connect with those people. Second, it's hard to find a sustainable business model as a self-published author. The book that we've been working on this whole time is a new updated version of a book that was already in print and then went out of print. So I could do another Kickstarter to get the book back in print, but who knows if it will fund, and really how many Kickstarters does this book have in it? And what if I sell out again? I'm hoping that working with a publisher, we can work together to keep a supply of this first book in print. Third, I'm an artist out of passion, an entrepreneur out of necessity. Being a self-employed artist means that my attentions are divided between so many different areas, and working with a publisher is an entire job in and of itself, but I'm hoping that it will help take some tasks and responsibilities that I currently bear myself and take them off my plate so I can put more of my focus back on where it needs to be, which is creating more comics. And fourth, if I work with a publisher, I will be subject to their scrutiny because they want to make sure they know what they're putting out there in the market. I already have a great team of proofreaders, but I would love to get additional professional feedback to help strengthen the story and help tailor the design of the finished books. Now, of course, there are disadvantages to it as well, and the main one is that we would just have to wait longer to see the book in print. If I were to run a Kickstarter right now, there's no sure thing that the Kickstarter would fund, but if it did, I could probably have the book printed and ready for readers by the end of summer. Whereas trying to connect with publishers, I have to find a publisher who's interested, get them to read the book, approve the book. We'd have to work through editorial and design, and then actually do the printing, get it out to the public. There's a lot of waiting that goes on in this process, and I'm as impatient as you are. I want to get this book in print, but I really think it'll be more sustainable and better for the long run if I try to work with a publisher and distributor on getting this book out there. That's the plan going forward. I'm putting together a book pitch, and I'm going to be talking to some publishers and distributors and trying to work out a book deal, and the moment something works out, you will be the first to know. I will definitely keep you posted here on the Patreon. Now, you are not going to have to wait that long to read the book because, as you probably know, I am putting together a Patreon exclusive digital ebook version that will be available for you to download 2 weeks from today. Next week, I'm going to be publishing a video that will talk about where the Patreon is going now that we're finished with the book, and there's going to be some fun holiday treats in the meantime. Until then, leave your questions and comments here under the video. I know I covered a lot of different topics in this video. I would love to address any comments that you have or answer any questions. Thank you so much for your support. I love you all, and I'll be back next week with more cool stuff.